Yeah, I was happily surprised with finding that one on my shelf like 20 minutes ago before I started this video. What am I going to put in the video? Oh, look at this. I forgot all about this one. Hello and welcome to M Cubed. I am Brian, the Motley Mix Merchant. So glad you could join me today. Been away for a little while, but as they say, life happens and sometimes another word happens. But hey, it's been a little while, but I'm glad to be back and glad to be at it again and back on YouTube and still thrifting. Haven't missed any thrifting in the last 3-4 weeks since I've been here last, but definitely missing doing the YouTube videos. So I'm happy to be back and I'm happy that you're here with me. So thanks for joining in. If it's the first time you've seen me, well, that means nothing to you. I am a Canadian eBay reseller. I buy things mostly at auctions now and pick them up for really good prices, and then I flip them over and resell them on eBay exclusively right now, although I do a little bit of Facebook Marketplace for some of my bigger items, but eBay is the place for me. We'll discuss that in a little while. But usually I go through what has sold in the last little while since my last video, and it's been a while since the last video, but I'm not going to go through everything. I'll go through a few of the things, and then we'll discuss some items that may be on my mind, and then I'll show you a few things from my most recent haul, and we'll talk about that as well. But first, let's start off with what sold on eBay since I saw you last. Well, let's do a little bit of a recap first. October's done. It is November 1st when I'm taping this. I cannot believe it's November 1st already. Sold 28 items in 31 days in October. Just a little under my one per day goal. 8 items more than I sold in September. So don't talk to me about fourth quarter being huge takeoff, although unless everybody waits till after Halloween to start buying, we'll see how November goes. So first month of the fourth quarter, no big schmo for me. So, but sold a total of 14 items. 11 were mine. 3 were for either a friend or my son. So I'm not going to bother with those, but I got 11 items to go through today. Things that I sold. We'll do it fairly quickly so it doesn't take up too much time because there's other things to get to. And we'll go from most recent to most distant past sale. And we'll start off with this beautiful Roseville two-handled vase. One of my Roseville haul from the auction 3 weeks ago. And it is gone on its way to Maryland. Good price. I took back and forth on this one with offer and counter offer. Ended up selling it for $47 plus $13 in shipping. That's $60 US. Works out to about $75 Canadian. I paid $20 for it, so with shipping and fees, I might have made $15, $20 profit, but don't forget I've got 8 separate lots of the Roseville, so if I can make $15 to $20 profit on each of those, I'll be very, very happy. Also sold this past week, something I've had in my store, in my possession as well for probably 5 months now, a whole big lot of fashion jewelry. Necklaces is this one. I've got all kinds of bangles and bracelets and earrings, and I've shown you some of the flats that I've picked up of those. $15 with free shipping. I threw it in a bubble envelope, threw it in a bag, a couple pieces of cardboard around it, and threw it in a bubble envelope. Cost me hardly bare minimum to ship. Wasn't very heavy. So yeah, not much. Like I said, 5 months in my possession, at least 2 to 3 months on the website. So glad to have that out of the shelves. Up next, a lot of 7 mini ceramic horses. I think I talked about this in my last video a number of weeks ago. I picked up these ceramic horses made in Japan, miniatures. I've broken them up into 2 lots. This lot here, as soon as I posted it, it started getting a lot of action, a lot of traction, a lot of watchers, and I got a best offer of $20 plus $10 in shipping. And again, super light. It was first class. Absolutely, even with all the padding I put around them after I wrapped them and put them inside with foam padding around them. But I may have underpriced myself on that one. I think the horses that were laying down in that picture that you saw, I think those ones were worth a little more, and I should have maybe done further research, although the research I did showed that that was about the right price to ask for 6 or 7 of them. So we'll see. I've got a lot of 6 of them still up on the website, so we'll see how that one goes. What's up next? Oh, this beautiful pair of small landscape paintings. They were like 9 inches by 6 inches or something like that. They were smaller, but they were actually original oil on canvas. You can see on the back of the paintings there was stretched canvas and framed professionally, and really, really nice. A couple of fall scenes, and the buyer made me an offer, and she was sent me a little note as well saying she really, really was interested in having them. So sold them to her, $20 plus $10 for shipping, and they were light, but you know, it's nice to see things go where they're appreciated, and it sounded like she really was going to appreciate and find a nice place for them in her home. So off they went. Oh, this mixed lot of bone china cups and saucers. None of the teacups and none of the saucers matched each other. There were some that were similar colors, yellow flowers or pink flowers, but not the same flower and that kind of thing. So I threw them all together in a lot. There were 7 sets plus 2 separate cups. Sold them for $15 with an additional $13 for shipping, which definitely covered the shipping. But that $15, those teacups were probably a total investment of about $3 to $4. So pretty good return on those. I'm happy with those. Up next, yet again, another pair of gym shorts. These old retro style polyester blue Coach's shorts, which I got in a big lot of athletic wear, probably 32 items for $5 a month plus ago. This is the 4th pair of pants or shorts from that lot that I have sold for at least $20 to $25. So I've more than made my money back on that $5 investment. And yet again, another Coach getting a pair of the blue shorts. First set of Roseville went a while ago too, about 2 weeks ago. It was a small bowl, an iris design bowl. Got $36 with free shipping on that one. Again, it was a small bowl, so it was very light, and the padding that I use is very light. I'll show you that next video. If I remember, I will try to remember to show you the padding that I use for my ceramics, because it's a little different, but pretty cost effective and very, very good at protecting my ceramics. So yeah, that was the first sale from the Roseville lot. And so I've sold 2 of the 8 lots that I picked up. Oh, but one of them is going to be staying with me, or maybe being gifted to my mother-in-law for Christmas. Hope she isn't watching this. It's got a couple of little nicks and repairs and magic marker fixes. Let's put it that way. So I'm not selling that one, but it's still a beautiful piece. It's just not suitable for resale. So it's going to be staying in the family somehow. Oh, these next 2 things, interesting little story. Red Wing is the brand. Capistrano was the design of these. First it was 2 serving bowls, cute little mid-century modern serving bowls. I sold those for $25 plus $10 in shipping. Now at the same time as I had the bowls listed, I also had a large rectangular serving platter fruit bowl listed at the same time. So when the lady bought the 2 serving bowls, I messaged her and said, "Thank you very much for your purchase. Just in case you were interested, I have a matching platter for sale on the eBay store as well. If you go to my store and search Red Wing Capistrano, it will come up and you will see that it's there. And if you would like, I will sell it to you for the asking price and 0 shipping, and I will throw it in the box with, not throw it, it was ceramic. I wasn't going to throw it, but you know what I mean. I will put it in the box with the bowls to give you free shipping on the platter if you pay full price for the platter." Well, less than 2 hours later, she bought it and paid full price for the platter. So not bad. $25 for the bowls, $21 for the platter, and then another $10 total for shipping. And I think I may have kicked in, it ended up taking me about $3 to $4 in shipping cost that I absorbed out of the $46 US for items that probably cost me a grand total of $6. So very, very happy with that sale. And I was happy with myself for my marketing prowess on that one, that I actually thought about the fact that I should maybe message this lady and try and market my other item. And she bought it. So I was happy with myself on that one. So I'm glad I did that. Real quick, Southern Comfort serving tray. I've had this one for probably 3 to 4 months on the store. You know, people were looking at it, but not getting it much traction. Finally got an offer of $20. There was free shipping on it. I shipped it out. It was super light. I think it cost me $7 to ship. So, for what cost me, if I remember, this was here's how long ago it was. Then, if you've watched this at all, I don't do much thrifting in the last 2 to 3 months. I got this at a thrift store. So probably 4 months ago, this is how long this has been in my store. It cost me $2 at the thrift store. So nice little return. This one was cute too. Santa's Village Souvenir Collector's Plate. Now, Santa's Village is in a town called Bracebridge, which is north of where I live here in Ontario, Canada. And that's what they do year-round in Bracebridge. It is Santa's Village. And so this retro vintage souvenir plate, I found it in the bottom of a box from the last auction. So overall cost to me probably 75 cents to $1 max. Sold it for $15 plus $7 in shipping. However, the buyer actually lived about a block and a half right off the highway that I have to take to go to my shipping company. 45 minutes or so down the highway. So I just messaged her and said, I'm going to be driving by your house almost literally tomorrow when I go do the shipping. So can I just drop it off? And she said yes. So sure enough, I just took the exit and followed the GPS, and it was literally a block and a half off the highway that I was going down anyhow the next day to take my shipping to my shipping company. So I used the $7 shipping towards gas money. She gave me the feedback right away to show eBay that it had been delivered. So yeah, that worked out very well. And she was very happy. She was very pleased that I brought it to her. I put it in a nice little bag with some tissue paper and everything. So she was very happy. And I'm glad I did it that way. Finally, the other thing that sold just after the last video, and I mentioned this on a previous video, a number of videos ago, is this tin golf putting practice hole. If you were around, if your father was a golfer at all in the 70s or 60s or 70s, he had one of these because you put it on the floor, on the rug, and you practice your putting in the living room or the den or wherever. And my dad had one of these. And the ones nowadays, of course, they're the automatic return ones that shoot the ball back to you and all that electronic stuff. But this is old school with the flaps that went down and held the ball in there once it got in there. So yeah, it sold $10 plus $6 shipping, and that's all it cost. It was, I think I put a couple pieces of cardboard around that, threw that in a bubble envelope as well, and off it went first class. So yeah, so that's the 11 items that sold in the past 3 weeks or so. As I say, it's been okay. 28 items in 31 days, but no really huge uptick in the sales over the past 30 days, 60 days as well. But what do you attribute it to? Well, I don't know what to say about all the stuff that's going on. I've been watching it and following it and keeping an eye on my listings because, as we all have seen, anybody who is on Facebook or YouTube or whatever doing this thrifting thing, there's been a little bit of a problem with eBay in the last 60 days or so. Just a little. Well, I don't know what to make of it all. I've been lucky. None of my listings have really been affected by any of the glitches lately. I'm getting a few notifications to put in required fields and that kind of thing. So that part was kind of frustrating. But, the promoted listings thing, this is interesting. I've done a little bit of research and looked back over things. In August, so it's over 2 months ago, in August, 70% of the items that I sold were promoted listings. And I didn't change anything from August. I'm still going at the same percentages. I always knock it down a couple percentages from the recommended percentage that they say for promoted listings and that kind of thing. So in September and October, I sold a total of 49 items. Not one of those 49 items was sold as the result of a promoted listing. Meanwhile, in August, 70% of my solds were promoted listings. So I think something's changed big time with the promoted listings. I'm still doing it on the bigger items, but for the smaller stuff and for the things that I think it might help or might have helped in the past, I'm not bothering anymore because I think something is really, really badly glitched with eBay's promoted listing system. And of course, it's heading into fourth quarter, so a great time to do all these updates and these changes to your platform as you're getting ready for your sellers are getting ready for the busiest time of year. And a lot of people commenting on the Facebook groups that October was terrible for them. Some people, of course, are saying it was their best October ever. That's going to happen in retail, right? But a lot of people saying that it's been the worst October start to the fourth quarter that they've ever experienced. And so, you know, eBay, if you ever watch me, I know I'm just a tiny, tiny, really tiny little tadpole in a big ocean. Big mistake making all these changes right in and before the fourth quarter. And, you know, you think somebody would know not to do that, but I guess they didn't. So anyhow, it was, you know, like I said, 28 items in 31 days. It's average for me. And we'll see what happens in November. I haven't changed my mix very much. I'm still selling a lot of, listing a lot of ceramics and pottery and dinnerware and figurines and that kind of thing. A lot of vintage stuff. So we'll see. My mix hasn't really changed much. We'll see how things go from here to the end of the year. But, you know, I'm not very hopeful of a huge uptick in sales. We'll just keep plugging along and make a little bit of spending money on the side and not even think about the fact that it should be more or could be more. We'll just go from where we go from. Anyhow, wanted to show you a few things that I found. I mean, okay, here's what happened. So I made the two big purchases at the auction the first 2 weeks of October. The first 2 Thursdays of October, I went to the auction back to back. And then I did the Roseville purchases on the second auction. I basically tapped myself out money-wise for thrifting and purchasing for the entire month after that. So I put a self-imposed ban on going to the auction again for the rest of October. And my significant other, she was very good at holding me to that. A couple of times, almost standing in front of the door to stop me from going to the auction. But it's interesting because that forced me to go through everything that I had in my shelves. And I found a lot of stuff that I forgot I had. Some things that I had taken out, cleaned, and then put somewhere with the intent of listing them, and I forgot about them. So I've had a pretty good month of still being able to put some good stuff on the eBay site, take some pictures and do some listings, and wanted to show you what are the 4 of the items that I found that were in boxes or on the shelves. And I need to get a better system, you know, unlisted stuff over here, unlisted stuff over here. I know, okay, I'm trying to organize. It's going to be one of the goals for November is to really get organized in my storage areas, because I mean, I've got 2 big shelves over in the laundry room. You can see the bookshelves behind me. Everything on this black shelf is mine to sell. There's a few things up on the other shelves. There's 3 glass shelves here and a built-in display case right beside my desk here that are also pretty full right now with mostly glassware and pottery and that kind of thing. So I need to get organized and do this the right way. So that's November's goal. But let me show you 4 of the things that I found that I forgot about from previous auction hauls. And we'll start with these guys. And I need some help. If you saw the thumbnail, I need some help with these. These guys here, I'll hold it this way. It is a salt and pepper shaker. They come off. But my question is, what are these? I'm thinking monkeys because of the ears. Just the faces and the ears. I think they're monkeys. Now, made in Japan, definitely vintage, very old. But yeah, they're... I have to get the $15 marker off of the bottom. Good luck with that, Brian, on ceramic. And, you know, I thought they were interesting. They were in the bottom of a box at the from the auction, I think probably a month ago. And, yeah, tiny little salt and pepper shakers with the holder. But are those monkeys? Tell me in the comments below what you think. I think they're monkeys with the way the faces are and the big ears. Maybe you have a different idea, but I think it's a monkey. So I think I've listed them as monkeys. I don't think I've listed those yet, actually. I just did the pictures for those the other day, so I need to get those up on the site. Up next, beautiful Boseware stoneware. As you can see, it's a stoneware on the style on the bottom, and I think this is, I'm pretty sure this is considered drip glaze, as you can see from the coloring, dark green and black. sort of in the same style of Blue Mountain pottery. If you've ever been to Canada or you know somebody who collects the stuff, Blue Mountain pottery is the world famous green dripped black glaze stoneware from Canada. Along the same lines, same vintage, 70s, 60s, 70s for this one. But again, another piece that I forgot that I really had. And Bosaware is fairly popular in Canada. It was great stuff back in the day and still very collectible, and people like it, and it's in great shape. No chips, no cracks. It's a little dirty. I haven't washed it yet, but yeah, I was happily surprised with finding that one on my shelf like 20 minutes ago before I started this video. What am I going to put in the video? Oh, look at this. I forgot all about this one. So anyhow, gorgeous little Bosaware vase. I'm thinking I'm going to probably list that in the $24 to $29 range US plus shipping. So we'll see how that goes. This one's interesting. It is a small oil lamp, as you can see. And it's called, the term for it is called a finger lamp because you can put your finger through the loop and hold it with one finger. Although that would get a little heavy if it was filled with oil. But it is an oil lamp. It is in amazing condition after I looked at it. The wick controller goes up and down, as you can see, working well. And still the original glass on top. One of these, which was painted red. Now, the one that was sold on eBay about 4 days ago was painted red. But I think this one's also one of the red ones. As you can see, look at the coloring on the bottom. I think this is a rusted version of one of the red oil lamps, finger lamps. It says Sterling on the front, but it's not Sterling Silver. Sterling is the company that made it. If it was Sterling Silver, that'd be good. It's sold on auction for $75 US. One of these tiny little oil lamps. So I have put this, I've done something different. I have put this as an auction. I started it at $39.99 because of the rust, although some people like the rusty stuff. And the brass burner part is in perfect condition. It's got the wick. It's got the original glass on top. So I started it at $39, 7-day auction, which I think started Wednesday night. So we'll see how it goes. It's getting some views. I haven't looked lately to see if there's any watchers, but it's getting a few views. So we'll see. But I thought that was a great little find. And then when I saw the comp for the only one that I could find exactly the same that sold for over $70 US, I was very happy. And again, that was in a box. I was cleaning out some boxes to take pictures and just keep listing. I'm up to 249 listings, or 48. I'm almost at 250. So I thought that was a great find, and hopefully it goes for pretty decent money because it's a cute little piece. One last thing. Another piece of pottery, Canadian pottery. This is a beautiful mid-century modern stoneware pottery piece made by a gentleman by the name of Michael Ward in a town called Blythe, which is in Ontario, Canada. And look at the date on that. 1976, signed and dated by the artist. And he does have other pieces for sale on eBay. Other people have pieces of his for sale on eBay, and he is not super well known, but the name is out there when it comes to pottery in Canada in the 70s and 80s. Unfortunately, tiny chip on the back edge of the upper rim, but if you're displaying it like this, you can't see it. That's the way I always think especially when I have stuff that's got minor chips. It's like, you're not going to see the chip when it's sitting on your mantle like this and facing outwards. Can you see a chip? I can't see a chip. There's no chip there. So it's a beautiful piece. Again, about 9 inches tall. And I think I've got it on the website already for $29.99 US. A lot of traction. A couple of watchers already. So we'll see how this one ends up. And when it sells, how much it sells for. Because again, in a pottery box, total cost to me, maybe $3 max. Depends on how many other pieces were in the box. So yeah, it was another nice find. And actually that had been on these shelves right beside my desk for a while. and I just hadn't been bothered to list it, but went on a listing binge the last few weeks as I was cleaning out things and not going to auctions. So I'm very, very happy I found that and found the details of the provenance of that. And I mean, I don't know who owned it, but I know where it came from and who he was, and the date on the bottom was very cool to find. So that was fun. And I'm still having fun with it. And I mean, you know, sales are what sales are, and you do what you can, you list what you can, the best that you can, and then you take what you get. And I'm taking what I get this way, and it's so much fun still going through stuff and researching. Again, still the listing and the packing, not the greatest of fun, but the researching and finding things and getting the details on the history of some of this stuff has been so much fun, and I'm going to keep at it. I'm just going to plug along. I'm not going to worry about, I hope my sales triple in November and all that kind of stuff, because they're not going to. I've accepted the fact that I've got vintage stuff. It's not really gift stuff that people will buy for somebody for Christmas. These are things that people will buy for themselves, either for collections or for decorating or that kind of thing. So, you know, it is what it is, and that's what I've decided to get into. And so I just try to plug along week by week and get new stuff. Now, I am going to be going to an auction next week. On November 9th, I think is the date, on the Saturday. My auction house, my favorite auction house, is having a strictly box lot sale on the Saturday. I think it's like 5 hours long, but just box lots. And I get some great stuff in the boxes from this auction house. So I'm going to be spending a Saturday at the auction house taking in all the boxes and seeing what I can find. And I will definitely be showing you here on the M Cubed channel exactly what I find, especially if I get some really good finds for a really good price. So that's the plan. That's the next auction journey. Not this week's regular auction, next Saturday's special box lot auction. So that's the plan. I've still got a few things to list this week, and I'll keep up with it, and hopefully some things sell and I can start moving some inventory. So that's what it's been like. It's been one of those months. And to my regular subscribers, I apologize for the delay in getting the video out. But as I said, life happens. Thank you very much for dropping by. As always, it is a pleasure to see you. If you liked what you saw, please give the video a thumbs up, because it really does help it get some traction amongst other people searching for thrifting type videos. And if you want to follow along with the entire journey and see what I do sell and what I do pick up, please hit the subscribe button down below and then hit the bell to be notified every time a new episode is uploaded. Thanks again for dropping by. I will see you very soon, much sooner than this time, very soon, on another episode of M Cubed. Cheers.